All right, and we are back for, I guess, now the third episode, or maybe it's two. It's second. It's second episode, part two, part B. All right. When last we left our adventurers, how literally? Let's see here. When last we left off, the party had discovered that some strange beasts have been terrorizing the town, searching for something. They seem to move with purpose through the town every night for the last week. One eventually seemed to be paying mind and attention to Draco as he slept in the tavern, and it was an odd and strange experience for him all around. After that night, they had disappeared off in the distance. Not knowing where they went exactly, they went south, is what Kietza said. Later that day, looking to leave, you guys discovered that Damien had gotten much worse. He had developed abrasions all around his body, and a strange mark on his bicep is where it seemed to be coming from, because from that mark were plenty of black veins growing and spreading across his body. Upon investigation and searching through the church, it was found that Father Stevens has an unlocked, unsecured window, and being suspicious of him, but having no real proof, the party decided to do more research into this symbol in Father Stevens' study, and then through less than easy means of forging some sort of official note to the guards at the barracks, gained access to the military's archives. Eventually, after searching there for a couple hours, Fjeld had made himself invisible and come across an interesting mission report in the classified section where he was not supposed to be, about the deeper into the residual mines that are here in Eastbourne. There was note of Hinaris and Pelem signs. Pelem being a much older, one of the oldest cultures that we have found on the continent, and Hinaris being one of the youngest dead cultures. It seems that the Hinaris maybe came across this older ruin and had done something, or the ruin had done something to them, and they contained it somehow. And that is kind of where we left off, with the party leaving the archives and rejoining with the group outside. Theosius, something I forgot to mention last time, was in the scroll. It showed the same mark that was found on the body of Damien, but then it also showed another mark. Let me find that real quick. Do I even have it? That's the question. I might not even have it. Let me just grab it real quick. I know I have it in my desktop, but not in the game. Boop-a-doop. Right here. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Let me grab it. That first mark I sent you, what does it say the name is on the page?
Unidentified mark.
Good. Just want to make sure I'm not accidentally just like sharing things you shouldn't know.
No, please do.
No.
Makes my job a whole lot easier. No, it doesn't.
Okay, let's see here, right there. Okay, so let's see here. It is. I'll just name this one Mark as well, and I'll share it with y'all. This is a different mark. So both of these marks are found inside the mission report. It is also mentioned in the mission report that these two marks seem to be related, and that they have, after extensive research, the only information that presumably whoever wrote this report had come across was that these marks are bloodline, like basically like what are they called, like a crest, like a family crest type mark, but they are how do I say this, they're like for demons, like a demon hierarchy. They don't know exactly like what sort of like bloodline, or they don't have any information about who specifically, any names. They just believe from the vague research that they've been able to gather that these are symbols that represent houses or like bloodlines in a demonic hierarchy.
All right, back to the church we go.
All right. So you guys turn around, drive your cart down the street, and
Yosis and Draco told us all of this, or
that's up to them. What'd you have?
Oh yeah, I'll explain it to you at the church.
Okay. So you guys get to the church and walk inside, find a quiet corner or something, and share the information.
No, I kick Father Stephen out of his
study.
Yep.
He's like, "Hey, you know, this is my church. You can't." Okay.
No.
He doesn't really put up a fight because he doesn't have any real way to combat you or anything. So.
Old people, am I right? Anyways, yeah, I'll explain. So I went into the classified section of the military library, and I swiped this scroll, and the scroll basically explains that they went down into the mines, and there they found a Hinaris civilization, and past that they found a Pulem civilization. And for those of you that aren't students of the of history, the Pulem is the oldest civilization we know of, and the Hinaris are the most recent, like, ancient civilization we know of. But anyways, they've written down these symbols of the Hinaris. Was it the Hinaris or the Pulem?
For these symbols, these symbols seem to be separate from the Hinaris and the Pulem.
Okay.
They seem to be in the mine, on some of the architecture around the Pulem, but they don't seem to be like associated with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I found the symbol that we recognize written on Damien, and this other symbol, which are both different symbols of these demon hierarchies, etc., etc. Basically, I think Damien was exploring a bit too deep into these mines, and he got cursed from this demon family, and that's why he's in the state that he's in. Any questions?
By the way, I don't know if I've shared this with you guys yet, but this is what Damien looks like.
Top one eye. Joke. So if we are all on the same page, then I suggest that we go back into the mines to find the root of this problem to try and save his life now. Questions, comments, concerns, anybody?
Do we think the dogs will be a part of this?
They might be residing in the cave, but who really knows for sure?
But don't you think it's weird that the guards aren't doing anything about these dogs or these beasts?
Who?
The guards in town? You don't think it's weird they're not doing anything about these beasts?
I just think that it slipped their mind, to be honest.
Is Raishan and the other NPCs that are in the party with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Raishan kind of speaks up and it's just like, I mean, it sounded like the guards were doing stuff. They were making sure everyone was inside.
Yeah, but that was all. They weren't really taking care of the problem.
Maybe they don't know how.
Yeah.
We can go check, but I think there might be something fishing going on in the town.
But, Amai, so let me show you the timeline. So Damien, he went into the cave and disappeared and whatever, and then these beasts started appearing. So I would suggest that these beasts are one and the same problem with Damien's condition.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. But I also agree that since the guards aren't taking care of the problem, maybe they were part of the problem too? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I think that can...
I agree with checking out the cave, but I believe there might be something fishy going about here.
True. I suppose we'll find that out once we're in the cave. If there's something fishy. Because they did say that they collapsed the tunnel to these civilizations. So if it is somehow not collapsed, then I guess that would confirm our suspicions.
Didn't Keith starts talking. Didn't Father Stevens say that possibly those Cyclops came from deeper down?
Yes.
Could they have maybe opened it up somehow?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I think Damien started a chain reaction which led up to the events of this moment.
I see.
Anyway,
all we have left to do is to go check out the cave now, I guess, right?
Yeah, let's go in the morning, I'd say.
It is like, it's only like 10 a.m. right now.
Yeah.
Only 10?
Well, actually, no, you guys did spend quite a bit of time in the archive. It's like maybe 1 p.m.
Yeah, I say we go to the caves in the morning still. Make sure we're all ready.
I think we're all ready today.
I am not ready.
Okay.
Start in the morning is what you prefer.
Yes.
Alright, sounds good
And
to me.
I would like to research more with Father Stephen before we head down as well. And get his window locked up, because that is sus as heck.
Father Stevens sus.
Mm-hmm. Father Stephen the imposter?
Alright, so what do you guys do now?
Nothing, I'm just waiting.
Alright, so if no one wants to do anything specific, then we can skip time, otherwise...
I have Raishan and Stacy put the window onto Father Stephen's or the lock on Father Stephen's window.
Okay. They kind of like, of course, and they head out and get that done.
And I make sure that it can't unlock.
I mean, it's only a padlock.
No,
It's actually something I want to do.
All right.
I want to go ahead and what is it? See if there's horses perchable in this town.
Oh, okay. Sure. Looking around. You go to the market area and start asking around, and it's not something commonly purchased, but there are a couple people who are willing to sell you one of their horses for the right price.
Alrighty. I'll have a quick conversation with them then.
Okay.
So I guess they're just walking and ask, your horse is perchable here.
Oh, yes, of course. How many are you looking to buy?
Just one.
Only one? Okay.
The fastest one, if possible.
The fastest one, if possible. Of course, of course. I've got this really beautiful purebred steed. Yes. How much are you looking? How much are you willing to pay?
I honestly don't know the prices of horses, so I'm just gonna say like 100. Like 150 gold.
Yeah, that's probably about the price a horse would probably be. He says, okay. Well, I don't think I could give you my fastest steed for that amount, but maybe I could give you something more modest.
Yes, as fast as you're willing to sell me.
All right. Well, please, give me a moment to close my shop and then follow me. And he kind of starts packing things up and close the door, lock the door, shut the curtains, all this stuff. And then he leads you to the far side of town and to his house, where he has a nice and large house with its own stable. Not a very big stable, like the tavern has a bigger stable than he does, but he's got 3 horses inside, and you see which one he called the a steed, or what he was referring to as like a nice and purebred one. It's a very beautiful jet black stallion that looks really, really strong and really able-bodied. There's another one that is a little smaller, brown and white, splotches kind of all over it, and it's like, this one right here I can sell you for 100 gold.
For 100 gold?
Yes.
Alrighty. Won't be buying it now, but if you can, I will pay you an extra 25 gold. If you can wait, can you give me a description really quick about like where, like, is his house surrounded by like the walls of the city, or is it like on the outskirts of town?
There are no walls here in this town.
There is no wall. Okay.
But he is on, like in the map I shared with you guys, right here. He is on this house right here. Wait, no, I did the wrong way. That way.
Okay.
It is a very large house. Probably like, you could probably fit like 10 people in this house. And then it's got a small stable to the side.
I might need the horse ready in the next couple of days at a moment's notice. Can I find you here?
If it's during the daylight, I would likely be in my shop.
Okay. It might be
Alright.
during the daytime. Maybe at night. We will see.
Okay. Well,
That's all.
okay. I will be preparing for your
And
arrival.
I'll give him 5 gold not to speak to anyone about this.
You'll do what?
I'll give him 5 gold not to speak to anyone about this.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely takes that. He's like, all right, no words. And you, I guess, walk away.
Yep, I definitely leave.
All right. He immediately, you hear him shouting to his kids, and he starts telling them to get the horse ready and pretty and washed and brushed and everything.
By the way, that didn't look like a malnourished horse or anything.
No,
like
no,
that,
no.
right?
It was just not like the best. It was just it was able-bodied. It looked pretty young, not malnourished. It was a good horse, but it just wasn't like his prized horse or anything like that.
Yeah.
I make sure that Father Stephen's window cannot be opened from the inside or out.
All right. So you run over to his room, and they've secured it with a lock. You try to open it, doesn't open. You go to the outside, you try to open it. While you're on the outside, you see scratch marks on the outside window seal. Not necessarily only his window; it's all the windows.
But there are some on his.
Yeah, there are some on his.
Yeah. And I do keep the key to the padlock so that Father Stephen cannot open it.
Okay, and you definitely can't open it from the outside either. So.
Perfect.
All right.
And then nap time.
Nap time. So you guys kind of go about your day, probably mostly just killing time. You find your rest, or you all settle for the evening. Everything is locked. The guards go around securing everything, every building, and then you all go to your rooms and find your rest.
Before I take my rest, I was going to work on my letter to my sister.
All right, you can do that.
Alright. I was going to just send that to the private chat.
Okay. Are you sending it to Solaris?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you hand it, you seal it up and you hand it to Theosius to send.
Alright.
Cool. So you guys find your rest. As long as no one wants to do anything else. Morning comes.
Morning.
Yep. This time you wake up and your window, Draco, is not necessarily just like the frame on the outside where it was being scratched, but the actual window now has a bunch of scratch marks all over it. Yeah.
And we're on the second floor?
Yes, you are.
Alright.
And these are large beasts. You don't know how the beasts are able to climb up and not like fall through the roof, because they look like they'd be heavy enough to just break the roof. But they're for some reason aren't able. They're not doing that. It's not happening. You guys head downstairs, get breakfast.
There's crepes for everybody.
Crepes.
It's crepe day. It's a special day. We're going back to the dungeons.
You're going to kill the Cyclops this time, right?
No. Our goal is to get down to the ruins as soon as possible.
And Marmon doesn't have any more of those sleeping arrows. How can we guarantee that they're not both gonna be awake this time? What if Merlin,
Marlin, freaking Nemo's dad.
For real?
Merle. How do we know Merle is gonna miss his shot on at least one of them? We're gonna have to figure out a way to get past them if they're still up there.
Merle speaks up. Muriel speaks up. He's like, I don't have any more my sleeping arrows or bolts, so even if I hit my shots, they would not fall unconscious without taking damage. A ton of damage.
You're gonna be ready to fight.
Yes, but we do not engage on the Cyclops coming in. I'd rather sneak our way in and fight our way out than fight our way in and fight our way out.
Okay.
If you understand me. Alright. Let's go. And by the way, Rashawn and Stacy,
Yes.
you guys can stick around here. You aren't coming down.
I mean, with all due respect, sir, I think I could help. Raishon says. Then
How?
I want to turn my head and glare at him.
I don't know, sir. I just thought maybe I could to be of some use
Yep.
somehow.
Best help would be to
Fuck.
watch Father Stevens.
Watch Father Stevens.
Yes, I want you to make sure that he doesn't open that window, or to find out if he ever opened that window, and make sure he doesn't do anything suspicious. And if he does, report it to me when I get back.
Okay. He kind of seems a little dejected. He's just like, all right, man, whatever. And
Fighting for everybody.
Stacy kind of like laughs a little bit. He's like, sleep over with Father Stevens. And yeah. So they are off to waste their time at the temple / church.
Yep.
I'll just call it temple. Anyways, anything you guys like to do before heading out?
Nope.
Buy some sleeping arrows. No.
Buy some sleeping arrows. No, so you guys head off to the mines then. Let's see here. Alright, cool. So you guys walked for about an hour out to the mines. You actually notice a path that wasn't there before. It looks like an animal path that kind of is heading in the same direction as you are towards the mines.
You want to follow him?
Stinger wolves. If it's going past the mines, then I wouldn't worry about it.
It's going towards the mines. And I'll
Well,
point.
then I would worry about it, but we're going there anyways.
Maybe this will get us a easier way in. Could we just
Maybe.
take us straight to the root of our problems?
Suppose we should follow.
So you guys,
What's the problem spending 20 more minutes just following this path?
so yeah, you guys follow the path then, or you just head to the
Yeah.
mines? Okay. So you follow the animal path, and it pretty much leads directly to the mines. The area of the mines is kind of closer to, like, way more closer to the wasteland, so there's not much like fauna. Is fauna the word for plants? I think, right?
Flora.
Yeah.
Flora.
Fauna is-
Yeah. So there's not a lot of flora around to like create a path. It gets more dusty and dirt, so you kind of lose the trail once you get to the mines. But it has presumably led to the mines, at least the area.
It
Who's
just leads us straight
first?
to the entrance?
What?
Does it lead us just straight to the entrance, or like
No. By the point where you're like within like 60 feet to 100 feet of the entrance to the mine, where it becomes more like barren and stuff like
Okay.
that. So it's not specific to the entrance, but it is into the area. If you want to look around, you can see if you can find it again. But other than that, it seems it's disappeared.
Do we see anything around the cave mouth?
The cave specifically, no.
like
I'll
around
go
it.
first then. I go into the cave.
Yeah, I figured. Sorry, I was yawning.
Yeah.
So you head down into the cave, and like I said before, it is a tight squeeze at first, and it's pretty much a vertical climb down through some small openings, and eventually it kind of levels out and opens up more, and it's a nice long tunnel system that has been mined out for presumably a couple hundred years. Let's see here. You all make your way in, and you begin to head down towards down the mines
Cyclops?
in search of what might have caused this disease, and towards the ruins. As you walk down the tunnels that you have been shown previously, what do Yoshis and Draco talk about?
Oh, well, beautiful day, isn't it?
I just kind of look at him. We're in a mine.
It can be a beautiful day no matter where you are if you have the right attitude.
I kind of just dismiss him and keep walking.
So do you think Father Stephen is behind this?
He seems not to know much, but I wouldn't dismiss the idea.
I mean, you think he'd like report to the guards that Damien's disappeared after a week. He didn't even tell us at first that he was disappeared. We had to like convince him.
This is true.
I don't trust that man as far as I can throw him, which is not far at all.
I would say he is twice your height.
Yes. Anyways, let's just hope there's no Cyclops. For my sake.
You'll hear me chuckle. For your sake.
That is also true.
All right. Eventually, you guys show up at the previous chamber that you found Damien in. There are no signs of Cyclops.
Oh, thank you.
I thank you.
Oh, I didn't want to fight any Cyclops. They're a bit too, big and dangerous for, me. Anyways, let us continue.
All right.
Which path did they say like what path they took in the scroll?
No. Wait, what? Okay, good, I share it with you. No, it does not say which way it took. There are a couple of egresses. There's there's actually two in the north right corner, or top right corner. There's one right there that's kind of low with the water. There's one right there that's up on the ledge, and there is one on the top left corner that goes that way.
Well, that's the only one with the bridge connecting it, so I say we go that way.
To the one where the bridge is connected.
Yeah.
All right. So, leading on, you guys head down that way. You don't actually have to move your token. Those tokens are from last time. From you guys when you guys had the combat. All right, cool. Wow.
Whoa.
More map is revealed. Dun dun.
Didn't we find him over here?
Yeah, you did. But
What is
there,
that
Yeah, but that
block
was a
that
dead
just
end.
moved?
it was a dead end, yeah.
What was that
Anyways,
block that just moved?
black thing, what?
There's like this token right here I can move.
Yeah,
That's
that's Draco.
Oh wait. I was so confused. I didn't know that you changed your icon.
Yeah, I loaded up his picture.
What else can we see back here?
It's just more tunnel.
Original? Can we keep following?
Yeah. It is down this way about. It's hard to really track underground because it kind of turns and curves a little bit. But if you had to guess, it was probably another 300 feet down this tunnel that you obviously see a large section of this tunnel had collapsed. But it is moved out of the way.
Well, the report was right that the guards collapsed this place. We picked the right way, at least.
Seems like it's been moved, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's been moved back down deeper, like it's been pulled backwards. Or not pulled backwards, it's been pulled deeper rather than like dug up, pulled outward. Yeah.
So something's come out.
No. If it's pulled deeper into the cave, then that would mean that something pushed in.
Is that what that
No,
means?
If it's pulled deeper, it means something came from that way deeper and had to move it that direction.
Is it... Wait, did it get pushed towards us or away from us?
It is away from you. But
yeah,
it's
so
not
then somebody...
I mean, it's conjecture. Whatever, you guys can talk about it.
So somebody probably pushed in rather than pulled out.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah. But Damien or Father Stevens probably wouldn't have been strong enough to move all these stones, you think?
Probably a Cyclops. And then Damien found the hole that they made. Anyways, let's go.
All right.
No time to dilly-dally.
I know, right? You guys eventually... I'm sorry, not eventually. You guys walk down deeper and deeper, probably for a good 30 to 40 minutes. This area of the mine is not excavated almost at all. Like upward is, or in the first chamber, there's lots of like obvious like side tunnels. At least on the way down to the first chamber, there's lots of side tunnels that people have been mining through, and then in this first chamber, there's lots of like pick marks and other things of where they've been harvesting these crystals. So as you go down, it seems much more. What is the word? Not fresh, but untouched, I guess. And eventually, you guys come to find a large cavern with natural columns of stone and residuum that go from the floor to the ceiling, which is easily 150 feet distance. On and around these columns are ancient buildings made from wood and stone that seem untouched for, well, a couple hundred years. And even then, they don't look like they've been touched for at least 1,000 years before that. They're very much just sitting here for a long time. This is a picture of what it looks like in here.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
lots of... What are they called? Like, walkways and everything?
Yep, there's lots
It's
of
like that.
walkways.
It's like that... Isn't that Goblin Cave in, like, The Hobbit?
The Hobbit, yeah.
Yeah,
It's similar, yeah.
lots of bridges and stuff. Okay.
A lot of bridges, a lot of walkways, a lot of buildings. Yeah, there are. You don't know exactly from which time period that these things were kind of left necessarily, because there's lots of carts and ancient tools just kind of laid to the side, things like that. It looks like it was abandoned pretty quickly. 'Cause lots of things were just left aside.
Let's continue onward.
All right. Searching through the ruins area, it's quite large. If you're having, actually, who's gonna be? Are you guys all splitting up, or are you like, is someone kind of leading the way, looking for this? I guess quarry section.
We're all there together.
All right. Then I'd like Yoshis to roll an investigation check to locate this objective.
Natural 20.
All right. PogChamp.
Poggers.
Poggers. Yeah, so you pretty much immediately walk up one of these walkways towards the top of one of these columns, and you see just past that middle column in the picture, that front middle one is a large quarry section that kind of went down, down, down. And so you climb back down and you head that way. Walking over to it, you see, see here, when you get to the edge of the quarry, you look down into the center of it, and there's a large ritual circle placed around a large stone sarcophagus. It's kind of far away to make any details or anything out necessarily. And looking down, you see, you almost missed the fact that there's a person standing there. They are quite small. They are a gnome, standing in the middle of this ritual circle next to the stone coffin sarcophagus. He is standing impossibly still, not moving.
Is there a way to get down there?
Yep, there's like walkways that kind of go in a circle that get down, down, down. Eventually, you kind of start walking down there, slowly making your way, till you guys get about 60 feet away, and you hear the man say, the gnome say, "Please help me, rescue me, I'm stuck."
I don't think this.
As one tear of blood begins to roll from each of his eyes down his face.
Wait, he's noticed us?
Yep, he noticed you.
I don't like this.
He seems pretty young.
Yeah. So, guys.
I guess I'm gonna call back, and he's like, "Help you from what?"
Wait.
And he already knows us over here.
I just wanted to tell you that in the report, there was a report of the gnome man in the bottom of the tunnel, and that's why they collapsed the cave a bunch of years ago. And I'm a gnome, and I know that we cannot survive this long in a cave on nothing at all. So,
Please help me. I'm stuck. I don't know. It's just magic or something.
that is. I'm gonna insight that.
Do it.
Yeah. Oh. Wait, did that even roll? That
No.
didn't roll. Good. Shoot.
Natural
Oh,
20
shit.
to natural 1. Oh yeah, he definitely needs help.
I'm gonna ask him my question again. What do you need help with?
I'm stuck. I can't get out.
What do you mean you're stuck? Looks like you can move perfectly fine.
The ritual, it's keeping me here.
What ritual?
What are you, stupid? Which, actually, I forgot to mention at this point, there is a difference in this room between what the mission report said and what you're seeing now. As you get closer, you notice that about 15 feet from the edge of the ritual circle there's now this moat that goes down maybe like 10 feet or so. And in this moat, if you get close enough to look, you'll see that there is a river of blood.
Oh. How nice.
And then also on the opposite side of you, just outside the ritual circle, is a pile of pelts and bones that seem very similar to the beast you have been seeing it terrorizing the town.
So how'd you kill the beast?
What? I can't hear you.
I said how'd you kill the beast?
Help me.
That's
I'm
not an
gonna-
answer to my question.
I'm gonna draw my bow.
Please, it hurts.
I'm gonna draw my bow.
Put this man out of his misery.
Help me now.
No.
Alright. Oh god, no.
You shoot your short bow, and it launches at him, but there is some sort of magical force that ricochets off, and you see this like large column of like magic, I guess you could say, basically a force field where the ritual is.
Maybe we do have to do the ritual.
Well, what's the ritual?
What's the ritual?
What's the ritual?
He kind of just
Planning.
stares at you.
Well, how are we supposed to help him if he doesn't give us any answers? Well, I guess we could like break the circle, but I think that whatever's keeping him trapped here is doing it for a reason.
So what, are we just gonna leave him there?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. Saw a faint vision of a dice rolling.
I saw the same thing.
Oh no. But what do you think we should do, Amai?
I'm gonna roll a perception check really quick. Can I see anything unusual that's going on?
There's lots of unusual things going on.
Like,
Okay. You actually notice that the blood begins to start boiling.
I feel
So I'm
like
making
I'm gonna tell everyone to keep on guard that the blood is starting to move.
The gnomish man begins to speak. I guess I tried. No worries. I have the essence I need to break free now. And then he begins to be and he starts to like move his body, and every step he takes he kind of starts doing this shuffle where he's going back and forth and leaning right then leaning left, and the whole time his arms are strapped, like they seem rigid to his side, as if he's like tied like as if he's like his arms are bound to his sides, but his legs are free, and he stomps on the ground right, stomps on the ground left, and the whole cavern begins to like rumble and shake as the blood begins to move up and down, surge and crash against the walls, and he starts to perform this interesting weird dance. It almost looks like some kind of, I don't know, like a ritual dance or something.
think he's.
Do we leave or do we kill him?
Beats me.
Can we
Can I
even
make
hit
an
him with the
arcana
force
Let's
check?
field?
go with him.
Eventually,
Let me
Coming out.
well, what are you guys doing exactly?
Can you make an arcana check to see what this ritual's about?
Yes, go ahead.
Well,
Best you can make out, it's abjuration.
yeah.
There
Let's do
is,
this.
there are
Yeah.
symbols that seem celestial.
Can I read them since I can read Celestial?
They're not necessarily like words; they're more like ideas. The way that the celestial language works is that there's a written language, and there's also like an interesting like subcontext with words if they're used in a weird in the way they're meant to be. So they kind of mean how do you say this? They're like protection, entrapment, and sealing away, kind of, essentially. It's like, obviously this is meant to keep him or whatever this is here, not elsewhere. Eventually, as you guys are kind of like watching this happen, the gnome, around the gnome appear these glowing chains that begin to break one by one with immense force, like rubber bands. Just ba-ding! One breaks. At the same time,
What if I drink the blood? Then he won't have enough essence.
there's too much blood drink. I don't think you can do it in time. At the same time as
There's a couple of us.
at the same
Take
time,
out my bendy straw.
your bendy straw. So if no one's doing anything yet, another one chain goes, "Chew!" and it just completely explodes off of him. There's another maybe 5 chains left on him.
I'm.
He's just like,
going to well, I'm just gonna ready Scorching Ray for when the last chain breaks off.
I'm gonna prepare my bow.
I'm gonna prepare my hand crossbow and ready to pull out my rapier.
okay. Another chain goes, "Boom!" as now you start to see the skin of the gnome begin to burn and flake off like a dried leaf. Eventually, the next chain bursts, the next chain bursts, and the last chain bursts off as the gnomish figure just explodes into a black, inky smoke. Bigger than it, like surges up this column of force field in maybe like 50 feet in the air. It almost looks like ink that squid would expel, but it's in oxygen essentially. And it pushes up against the ritual, and all you see left standing there is a large humanoid that looks like this man's.
Oh. That's creepy. Fireman. More like Smoke Man, I guess.
I've been waiting a long time for this.
I like you better as a gnome.
Why are you here?
We're just trying to stop the stinger wolves and stop a curse on our friend.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about them much longer.
Because he's going to die.
Your friend? Most likely,
Yes.
yes.
Well, can you stop that?
Why? Why should I
Because-
stop that?
We don't want him to die.
I'm I'm sorry, did you say something useful?
Yeah, I don't want him to die. I think that's pretty useful.
How about this? You free me, and I'll save your friend.
Well, why are
Who
you
are you?
trapped?
I'm trapped because someone trapped me.
Well, I understand that, but why did they trap you?
Because I'm a demon.
Well, that's a pretty good reason to trap somebody, I'd think.
I'd like to beg to differ. I've done nothing to you.
But you did something to that person.
Yeah, well, maybe he deserved it.
You're right, I can't judge. What's your name?
He kind of swells a little bit with almost like he changes his posture, almost like he's remembering who he is, and he kind of swells with pride for a second. And he says, "My name is Prince Vandalor of Despinar."
There he goes, guys. We can control him now. That's how demons work, right? Prince Van... Wait, what?
You can't even remember it.
Prince Vandalor of Zothgor. Despinar. I can't remember what.
Either way, that's not how this works. I don't tell my real name. I tell you my title name.
Well, then tell me your real name and I'll release you.
No, that's not how this
Well,
works.
yeah, it is. I make the deals. I have the power here.
I don't think you do.
Well, obviously you don't. You're asking for a little gnome's help. Isn't that pretty telling of the situation you're in?
You, and he points to Draco. I've seen you before.
Where?
In the tavern. And he snaps his finger, and 4 of those creatures that you had seen before, in the pelts behind you, they seemed like form up into that beast again, almost like the shadows condensing into the shape of him and filling in the skin and the bones. And they kind of all stand there, kind of looking at you guys.
I'm gonna ask him if he knows what the Spear of Wish is.
Okay.
Do you know what the Spear of Wish is?
He is returning soon, you know. It's only a matter of time. I've
Who
also
is?
received word that it's quite soon.
Who is?
This one you speak of, Lesh, or otherwise
let me
known
guess.
Rathganespeg.
Is that his name?
It is something of his name.
It's not his name. How
He
about
just
this? You
gonna
tell us
return.
his name. You tell us his name and we'll let you go.
His name is his name is Rathganespeg. His mortal
His
name
true
is
name.
Lesh. I can't
his
just
true name?
divulge true names left and right, you know.
Well, I can let you go if you tell us his true name.
No.
What's in it for you if you don't tell us his name? You get to stay here?
Can you tell me about him?
I can stay here a little longer. Once he's released, he'll come for me. About him, well, What's there not about him? He is the Defiler, the Guardian, the this, the that. He runs by many names. He has much myth and legend around him. But I knew him first. I know him, his true self.
What's your symbol?
My symbol.
Yes. Your ancestry symbol, or whatever you want to call it.
Do you want one?
No, I'm just wondering what yours is.
I think you know mine.
Ah, so you were the one that branded our friend.
Of course. How else do I give him the mark?
And the other is Lush's, I assume?
Maybe. And he's like, you mean this one? And he points to his coffin where you see both marks. You see both of the ones I showed you.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah.
Yes,
This one
that one.
is something related to Lesh. I can tell you that.
Well, what is it?
Someone just died.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry. My knees.
my.
That was not real good.
I'm not going to say anything longer until you release me. I will heal your friend, and I will let you go. If you release me. Otherwise, I can sick my pets on you.
Alright,
And if,
here's the terms. Are you guys good with these terms? Am I? Draco?
Which
What
terms? Yeah, that's what we
Okay.
were waiting for.
His turn.
Alright. So we want our friend to be healed, and we want to be able to leave the cave and the town safely. Without any attacks from you or your pets. Alright?
Of course. Once I'm freed, I will just leave this place. I've been here too long.
What if
Okay,
we
and
kill your
leave the
pet?
town alone. Not yet. Leave the town alone as well.
Okay. I don't plan
then
to even
we'll-
stay on the same plane of existence, so...
Okay, if you agree to these terms, then we will release you.
What's
So
to
your
stop him
terms
from
were-
betraying us?
Your terms were to let you leave the town and the cave safely, leave the town alone, and to heal your friend.
Healed, my friend, yes.
I think we have a deal.
Turn to Theocius. What makes you think we can trust him? He's a demon.
I don't think at all, but he'll follow these terms exactly. And then once we leave the town, then we'll be under attack. So we have a little bit of time. But I can't tell him to just leave us alone forever. Probably as much time as we'll get.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Theocius.
Okay. Oh! Natural 20!
I promise to leave you alone.
Tell me your name! Tell me your name right now! No.
I promise to leave you alone for as long as... or at least a year. And I promise to tell you a little bit more information about why I've done the things I've done.
Make it until we have the spear in my hand. Until I have the spear in my hand, and then you have the deal.
Until you have the spear in your hand.
Yes.
Deal, he says with a big grin. Release me,
All right.
and I will grant you these things.
I walk down and I
Can I make an
smudge the
insight
syrup.
check really quick?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. On him? On which part about him?
Yeah, on
Anything
him.
specific?
Is he telling the full truth? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, sure. Roll an insight check.
Whew.
Okay. All right, we're in a private room now. It's just you and I.
Okay.
What you perceive, what you insight into this Prince Vandalor. He is telling the truth, but he is not telling the full truth. He seems to have some sort of pleasure in the idea of Theosius attaining the Spear of Flesh. He definitely is honest about leaving you alone, and he seems to want to give you more information for some odd reason, probably for his own pleasure and his own amusement.
Is there any way I can get like a one-on-one conversation with him? Like, I'm trying to think. Is there like a way that he can telecommunicate to me? Or I have like an idea what I'm thinking?
It's possible that he might be able to read your guys' minds, but you wouldn't know. Would you like to tell me what you're thinking?
Yeah, I want to be able to tell him that I want the spear.
Okay. So you think that essentially towards him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, back to the other room,
Yeah.
and we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Do we have a deal?
We have a deal.
All right. Any moment you can disable the ritual.
I start walking down, and I go to break the circle, the ritual circle.
All right. Do you have a staff?
Yeah.
All right. So you take the butt of your staff and you jam it into the ritual, and just like hard scrape a line across the ground, and as soon as it kind of crosses over the ritual line, the power that is released shoots. It almost like connects with your staff and shoots lightning up through your staff and out the end up towards the ceiling, and like a huge stalactite just explodes and comes flying down. It's not right over you, it's like several hundred feet away, and it just slams on the ground with a huge thud. And he kind of just takes a big deep breath. The deal is a deal.
It's a deal. See you once I touch that spear, then, I suppose.
Yes, but one other thing. I was proposed or commissioned. What's the right word? I was told to hunt you down and slap you, or at least slow you down. So just know you're not the only one out here.
How long ago was that? You've been trapped in here for a while.
2 weeks ago. And then he kind of starts walking away.
Wait, so does that mean that there will be more demons that'll come after us, guys?
He turns into smoke and just like fades away into the I guess ground kind of area.
Well, solved one demon problem.
How many more do we have, though?
Sounds like a
Also,
lot of fun coming our way.
the monster doggo boys, they just like disappear. Like their pelts and their bones are still there, but the actual like animated of them is gone. Yeah.
Well, suppose we should go get Damien.
Suppose so.
All right. Well, that was something else. I've never met a demon prince before. Yeah,
Well, now we have.
I hope to never meet one again.
Honestly, not gonna lie, guys, he's kind of hot.
You're right. He is. But anyways, now I am contractually obligated to never touch the spear.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, let's just go get Damien. I want to get out of here.
All right, so you guys kind of find your way up and weave around. And, if any of you guys would like to have spent any time, I guess, like kind of doing anything in the mine specifically for like a couple like short rest or something worth of time, you may. Otherwise, we leave. So, Draco, would you like to do something, or are you just stretching or something?
Well, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go investigate the sarcophagus in the ritual circle.
Okay. So you jump the moat, and you go and look at the sarcophagus. Inside the sarcophagus are a sprawling work of words, and they're just like crisscrosses of words overwritten each other. It's almost like a madman was left for 1,000 years in a coffin and just wrote a million scribbles. They're in a language that I don't think you know how to read.
If it's celestial,
It is not. It is abyssal.
no, I don't know that.
All right.
I speak
Alright.
that.
All right. Did you like to go over and read it?
It's like
I'll go over and read.
Okay. So you kind of
Yeah.
go over there. You could climb up into the. You actually have to kind of climb into it in order to actually read it, any of it, because the sarcophagus is so large that you'd have to be like inside of it because you're a gnome. You get inside and you start looking at it, and there's so much written here. Layers and layers and layers and layers and crisscrosses of words. Essentially, it's like a huge rant. From what you can discern, because a lot of it is overwritten, and so you can't really see like the early stuff, but the later stuff, it's just like he was really pissed off for being trapped in here. He was tricked into this whole situation somehow, some way. It's not really said, and that he was got much work to do. Yeah, pretty much.
All right. He was angry, very angry, that I
Yeah.
relayed that information.
Yeah. And not only was he trapped in here for however long he was trapped, but then he was trapped inside that body and that ritual circle for at least another 1,000 years, because the Hinaris, I believe, are at least 1,000 years old. Yeah. Or no, the Hinaris are probably more than 1,000 years, probably a couple thousand years old. Anyways. Yep. So then you guys kind of head out. And slowly make your way back to town. The whole process, getting down this deep and getting back out, probably took 3 hours. So by the time you get out, it's probably almost 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock. So yeah.
Let's walk to the church, I suppose. Check on Damien.
See if the demon kept his word.
I'm sure he will.
Alright, so you guys get back to town. You head inside. And Damien no longer has the mark on him. But he does still have the cuts. And he does still have the black veins. But they seem to be lessening.
Let's go to Father Stephen.
Okay. So you guys go find Father Stephen in his study.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, did you find a cure?
Father Stephen, what is this mark? And I show him the mark of Vandalore, of Despinar.
That's the mark that was on Damien.
What else is it?
A mark. I don't know. You said Vandalore? I don't know what that means.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you're just describing which one you're putting? Okay. I don't know.
I'd like to insight that.
Okay.
$14.
We are in a private room now. Okay. He doesn't know the mark, but he seems to know its implications.
Mm-hmm.
Like he seems to know why it was there. Like he almost seems too familiar with it. Is how I can describe it. Yeah. That's what you kind of get out of it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do we go back now, or do I finish here?
No, we can, or so, if there's any other, like, kind of more specific insight questions you want to ask me, you can. Otherwise, we go back.
Okay, I'm good to go back.
Okay. Alright.
Hello.
Hello.
So, why was your window open?
My window, it's, hot, and I like the cool air.
That's
I'm sorry,
was
what?
it?
You kind of cut out there.
That's a lie. Why was your window open?
It's hot.
Why was your window open, Father Stephen?
I like fresh air.
No, let me tell you why, Father Stephen. Let me tell you why your window was open. So, you know of Prince Vandalore of Despinar. You sent Damien down there to try and help or release him somehow, and you know why that mark is on his arm. So,
I did no such thing.
Prince Vandalore of Despinar, he would send his little beasts around here. They would crawl to your window. I saw scratches at your window.
There's scratches at all the windows.
but your window was open. So, you used the beast to communicate with Prince Bandalore, and you sent in Damien to try and hinder our progression, as you knew that he was going to be going with us and being our guide through the wastelands.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And this here is an attempted murder of Damien, caused by you.
I'm gonna
And
pull
your
out my sword.
With
demon
what proof?
worshipping thing.
This is absurd! I will not stand for this. And he kind of like walks out of his study, or at least attempts to. He walks out of his study.
I'm gonna step up with my sword because I already said I pulled it. I'm gonna love you this at his neck.
You wouldn't kill a priest.
You want to bet?
I mean,
Sit.
no. He sits down.
Theosis, what do we do with him?
The reason you being alive is the only proof I need that you are a murderer. That open window should have killed you. Alright? Anyways, yeah, tie him up in that chair and let's get the military here.
Okay.
He
Anyone
kind of just
got some
stays
rope?
silent. What was that?
Anyone got some rope?
I think a lot of you guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to get anyone specifics for rope, but you can just tie him up. It's alright. Alright, you guys go and fetch the military.
I stay in the room with him.
Okay.
Same here.
Who goes to get the military?
I can send
I
Kiatsu or
suppose
something.
I will.
Okay, so Draco and Kiatsa. Okay, so you guys go, and you get to the barracks, and there's a lot of people kind of doing training drills, running around, doing things, paperwork, things like that. You walk in and immediately are greeted by another guard. He's like, "Can I help you, sir?"
Yes, we have someone we're holding for questioning that we'd like you to come arrest.
And may I ask, who do you have in holding?
It's better if you just come with us.
Okay. One moment. Let me grab my superior for this, and I'll meet you outside.
I'm gonna duck behind the building.
Behind the barracks or behind the church?
Behind the church.
Okay.
I do not want to be near the front entrance, okay?
Okay, sure. Whatever. So eventually comes out this guard, and then another man. With your time, even in Mirstone, you know that this man is of ranking of general because of his the symbol he wears on his chest. Is the royal symbol, and so he's probably the top dog that's out here. He comes up to you and he says, "All right, lead the way." Where are we going?
And just lead him back to the church.
All right. I hope this is warranted. Otherwise, you may be fined for wasting my time.
Don't worry.
Not to mention illegally holding a citizen against their will. Okay. And they follow you to the church. And they're like, the church? Oh. Okay. And they walk in. They see Damien, they see the priest and such, and they follow you over to Father Stephen's study, and you kind of lead him in. Hello.
Good evening, General. Or good afternoon, I should say.
Yes. Why have we been summoned?
This man here, Father Stephen, is an attempted murderer. Now, General, let me ask you a few questions.
Yes.
Did you receive a report of a missing man last week?
No.
So, and this was at the same time. So you received no report of a missing man during any of the time after the beast appeared?
To my knowledge, we haven't had a missing person for at least a year.
Yes, well, I'd like to inform you that Damien was missing last week once the beasts appeared. And it is this man tied up next to me's fault. But let me explain the whole story.
Please.
So, in the cave, believe it or not, was this trapped demon. He's been trapped there for the past few thousand years by the Hinarus civilization. And somehow, Father Stephen came to this knowledge. As you know, the cave is used frequently by this church. So, Father Stephen made contact with this demon and made some deal with it or something. And he sent Damien to go and complete the deal with him. We found Damien in this cave, starving to death and with this strange mark on his arm. And I show him the symbol in the scroll, and I'm like, this is your scroll, by the way, sorry about that. Anyways, so this
His
mark
jaw,
on his arm...
he's a very stoic man. He doesn't show a lot of emotion. His jaw opens like his jaw drops like a half inch, and then he quickly closes again, and he takes the scroll.
Anyways, this is a symbol of Prince Vandalor of Despinar, which is the demon prince that Father Stephen has been contacting. Anyways, long story short, he's been contacting Demon Prince. We have proof because he's still alive, because even while his window was open, every night during this entire time, he's been using that window to make contact with the beasts that have been roaming your streets, which were controlled by this Demon Prince. And his window has been open this whole past week. He hasn't mentioned it once to anybody. He said that he likes the fresh air, but as you can clearly see, there's a building right behind him. What fresh air is there with a building next to it? No.
There couldn't possibly be fresh air.
No, he hasn't been afraid of the open door or the beasts any of this time because he's been in league with them. And Father Stephen, I guess that's basically the story. Anything anybody else wants to add?
Well, if there's nothing else, I'd like to point out that there is a lot of accusation and assumption, little proof to back what you said. If you could maybe...
We can show you the ritual circle.
I'm aware of the ritual circle.
Oh yes, it's in your report. Anyways, that gnome man was the demon prince that you found down there.
I don't see how that can necessarily tie to Father Stevens, though, is the only issue.
Well, his window was open, and he was aware of Damien being missing for a week without reporting it. He didn't even want to tell us until we figured it out on our own.
That is interesting. It's also interesting that in order for him to have a unsecured window, he'd have to fake it being secured when the guards come around.
Well, it wasn't even secured at all. There was no faking it.
He'd have to. The guards have to come by every day.
Well, maybe you should check your guards as well.
Overlooking the fact that you've stolen highly classified mission reports from our archives, I'm willing to accept your accusation, at least on face value, for now. we will take Father Stevens in for questioning and for examination. If he is in league with
I would
this
like to
demon,
be present for this, as I have been the lead detective on this. My colleagues would too.
make a persuasion check. Well, I'll give you advantage.
Ugh.
Not great.
You can be present, but I do not want to hear a word out of you unless asked.
Of course.
Alright. Other than that, Soldrick, take Father Stevens to the brig, and
I'd like to accompany him, as I don't trust your soldiers as well. There was a number of rocks that you had collapsed, which I do not believe that a few priests could have moved on their own.
alright. I will also accompany you, but take note of this. What is your name?
Feocius Depland.
Mr. Depland, I must make you aware that I do not take kindly to you so aggressively questioning the loyalty and duty of my men.
Of course.
There will
wouldn't
be
have
an
taken it
investigation launched into that. But for now, we will examine Father Stevens.
Perfect.
All right. Soldrick, apprehend him, please. And we shall go to the jail cells. Soldrick, the man that went to get the general, then goes and grabs Father Stevens, puts shackles on him, and begins to walk him out. You guys can all accompany if you'd like, and they get brought to a jail cell. I guess we will begin the investigation shortly. As for now, you can go find something to eat for lunch and return.
I always leave one of the party members with them.
Alright, who do you leave?
Kiatsa.
Okay. Yatsa says, of course, I will gladly take on this duty. I'll keep an eye. So Kiatsa stays behind to make sure nothing happens, and you guys can go and do anything else you would like to do in the meantime. The guards need time to prepare themselves for the investigation and such.
Alrighty, can I go to the barracks and see if my letter has arrived? I know it's only been one day, but they said they're checking every day.
You check in, and the man tells you, like, yeah, sorry, it's only been a day. The fastest they could even get to Inave would be, like, 3 days, maybe 2.5. So, don't expect anything until at least 4 days. That'd be a miracle if they got back that fast.
Okay.
Alright, yes, come back then.
I would like to send Rashawn and Mariel to go sit at the cave entrance to make sure nobody comes over there and to report if they do.
Oh, okay.
To tamper with evidence or anything.
So they go out and do that.
Well, this has
Okay.
been an eventful day, hasn't it?
Yes, I guess so.
You guys find lunch, I presume, and then return.
No, I'm not gonna eat with them. I wanted to go up to my room.
Okay.
I'll eat some crepes.
Some grapes for lunch.
I want to try to pray to the Prince of Vandaloria of Despar. No.
Okay.
How I do this is I want to think of what he looks like in my head,
Okay.
and then I just want to say his name like a couple of times.
All right.
I'll say his name about 12 times.
A couple times, then turned it to 12.
Yeah, a couple of times. I'd say that's like 12 times.
That's a dozen times.
You should do 13 because that's like the unlucky number, you know.
How about 666 times?
There you go.
No,
It's gonna be
okay.
up there for quite a while.
So you do that. Nothing happens.
Do you hear me?
Make a persuasion check. Mayhaps I do.
I want to help you set Lesh free.
Make sure you are the one to sacrifice your blood. You do this, well, let's just say you'll have a certain advantage over others.
Yes, sir. And then I'll just stop talking. I'll stand up and go sit on my bed.
All right, you stop talking. He continues talking and says, "This is going to be interesting."
Yes, yes, indeed it will.
All right, anything else?
I'll begin finishing off that Battle of wine I bought.
Okay, cool. And I suppose that is as good as any other time to finish our session.
Yeah.
That was eventful.
Wow.
It's pretty eventful.
You know what's funny is when I was preparing all this stuff, I was like, I'm probably over preparing. We literally went through like everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Not everything, but mostly everything.
Pretty much everything you
Yeah,
want.
pretty much
We're
everything.
planning.
Yeah, I had a good time.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, legit. I honestly, yeah, I don't know, man. That was wild. I want to say some things, but I can't, because I can't. I know things that I can't tell you. So
That's gonna be so tough.
cool.
You get to tell us at the end if we don't figure it all out.
Mayhaps, yes. All right, cool. Good job, guys. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. I guess just for the end of the recording, if anyone has any suggestions or any favorite moments or anything like that, put it down in the comments. And yeah, also for anyone of the players, so Will, Dallin, or Tony, if you are gonna listen to this to the what's it called, the video, make sure you don't listen to the parts where I left into a different voice chat. If you do, just try your best to keep them separate from what your character knows and what you know as a player, because that is more, specific stuff that you guys know. So
Right.
yep. Alrighty, ready. Awesome stuff, guys. We'll catch you next time.